Bright Horizons production. I thought I'd use one of my shirts to get that started. Hey guys, hey parents. Glad you guys are doing good. Sounds like it. First thing off is that I miss you guys. I miss interacting with the parents in the morning when we say good morning and talk about the day, about the menu, and how their kids are doing. And then second, of course, I miss the kids immensely. I love walking in the classroom and hearing them all say Mr. Owl. So, and if some of you parents didn't know who they were talking about when they said owl, or what's this owl? Who's Al? And are they talking about a book? No, they're actually talking about me. My name is Al, but they all seem to call me Mr. Owl. It started about 4 years ago, and it hasn't stopped, and it just keeps going. I think it's kind of cool. So yeah, I definitely miss the interaction with everybody. So I'm just glad to know that everybody's safe and doing well. And what we're doing today is basically, since it's Tasty Tuesday, we're going to do a little video on a quick little snack, and this is really quick, that the kids can do. They can put everything together. The only thing they cannot do is when we use the pan, and then of course when we cut it, or when you guys cut it. But as you can see by little mini me here, our menu is going to be S.B.B.Q, which is sun butter and banana quesadilla. Now the great thing about this is this is pretty much anything that you could do with 2 pieces of bread, you could do with a tortilla. In all honesty, I mean, it really is. That's all it really is. So what I did this morning was make some sun butter, and it's very quick, very easy. This is about 2 cups of unsalted, just plain sunflower seeds. I put it in a blender, and then I add about probably, I would say 2 tablespoons of oil, and then I would add a teaspoon and a half of sugar, and then just a pinch of salt. Salt is an enhancer, and it really makes everything taste really, really good. It just really bumps up the flavor more. So you don't want to add enough salt where you're going to taste the salt. It just picks up everything else. You could definitely add a little bit more oil if you like it a little bit, not smoother, but a little bit maybe runny. But it will separate. And if that does happen, don't worry about it. You just get a fork, because a fork, it'll aerate it, and it'll actually mix it much quicker. It's almost like using a whisk. So, but that's all this is. I don't like that much oil, and it actually stays put. And as you can see, it looks just like peanut butter. But don't tell the kids. Shh. So, so anyways, like I said, we're going to be doing a quick and easy quesadilla. Easy quesadilla. So, first things first, what we are going to do, Yuri did it, and so did I, is I washed my hands, which is the first thing, of course, we always do. And now with what's going on with COVID, is now all of a sudden everybody has become OCD on washing hands. It's something that we learned in the culinary school, and we wash our hands the same way the doctors do. We don't have a scrubber and scrub completely, but we do wash our hands for 20 seconds. And the way I do it is, and like I said, I already had washed my hands. Not only do you wash the inside of your palms, but I'm sure you guys have seen demonstrations on this, is the back in between. But what I usually do is I do this, and then what I do is I cut my fingers, and I actually make a little dance. I actually do a little dance like this to clean, make sure the fingers are clean. And then, of course, the thumbs, I grab them, I just do this, and then very quickly rinse it off, and we use a paper towel. Okay, so the hands are washed, and since you are home, you don't really need to use a glove, but I'm going to go ahead and use one just to, I always use one at least while I'm cutting, because this will be my knife hand, and this is what I'm using the ingredients to go with. So, again, I'm using a cast iron pan, and you could use any pan, and of course you're probably making fun of my man bun. Everything's closed, so no haircut and no shaving, I guess. I don't know. I didn't feel like shaving. But, okay, back to the pan. So I'm using a cast iron pan, but you could use any pan. You could use stainless steel. You could use non-stick, Teflon, whatever you got, it's going to work. It doesn't really matter, because you will grease the tortilla. And now we can get to the ingredients. Real simple, 3-item ingredient. tortillas, which I made tortillas this morning for this demonstration, but my kid, for some reason, decided to eat them. And then, so, good thing I have backup. So we're going to use a tortilla right here, and my sun butter. Now here's where your kids can do everything. Your kids can do absolutely everything, of course, except the frying and the cutting. But what they could do is I use the back of a spoon and, you know, scoop about, I don't know, so much, okay? You know, of course this will be on a pan, but I could throw it up on the counter, and I just throw it on top, okay? Now what I'm going to do is smear. You can smear it halfway. And let me grab this. You can smear it halfway. So again, we're going to use the back of a spoon, and you could either do half of the tortilla or do the whole thing. And what they could do is just go straight down with the spoon. And they could do this instead of using a knife. And that way, like I said, let them do all the work, and all you have to do is just do the last part of it. And there you go. And it's real simple. As you can see, I'm using this the way I would do a knife. Also, as I use my knuckles, I keep my fingers in and use my knuckle as a guide, so that way, you know. And don't worry if the pieces are too big, or if they're cut up like this, or, you know, they mangled it up. It's not a big deal. They're going to be eating it anyways, and it's going to taste just as good whether you did it one way or the other. Okay, so we get our tortilla, and now you can actually use this as a math problem. Hold on a second. Let me move this a little bit. Seem to have moved. Okay, now you can use this as a math problem. How many bananas can you put in a tortilla? So here we go. Now you could do half or do the whole thing. It's up to you. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, I stopped counting. So how many was that? Good. Some of you got it. Nice job, kids. I like half. I don't know, that's me. If you want to do the whole thing banana, you're more than welcome to do the whole thing banana. And all we do is close it up, and we're ready. We're ready to rock and roll. All right, so now the next and pretty much the last thing to do is now we're going to get a little bit of butter, and I do mean a little bit. I'm only using, I don't know, half a teaspoon maybe, not half a stick, half a teaspoon, and I'm going to smear it with the back of a spoon again, just the same way I did with the sun butter, okay? And I'm going to put this side down. Okay. One thing that I did do that I forgot to mention is as soon as I put the peanut butter on, I actually turned on the pan to get it hot. I put it on medium. Okay, so again, the butter side is on top, and you want to hear sizzle. Which is what we're hearing. Now the rest of the butter, of course, goes on top of that side. So when it's browning, you know, it's ready to go basically. So I like mine actually a little bit crispy, so I'll leave mine on for about maybe a minute, and then I'll flip it over. If you guys like yours not as crunchy or just semi-crunchy, what have you, I would say 30 seconds to 40, and then check it, flip it over when you're ready, and pretty much, yeah, so you flip it over when it's ready, and I think it's just about ready. So I'm going to pull it out. Now, you don't have to cut it. You can wait for it to cool down, and they could eat it like that, but I usually will cut it into like 4 pieces, or even, you know, when she was younger, I used to cut it into bite-sized pieces. Like I used to dice them into little pieces. It was a little messy, but they liked it. So there's the end product right there. And then you could add a little bit of maybe like a strawberry dip to make it look like a quesadilla with salsa, and do diced strawberries with a little bit of jam, and then that way it kind of looks like it's what have you, or even your favorite, any kind of topping. A little bit of honey maybe. Of course not for the infants, but for everybody else. But there you go. And that's it. And again, you could use any topping that you want. This is so versatile. You could do bananas mashed in a bowl. I usually, when she was a baby, I used to mash bananas in a bowl with a fork, and I would use that as the base. And then I would put sliced strawberries to make banana strawberry quesadilla. But really, you could use anything that you want to use. Even drizzle a little bit of honey. My grandmother used to do the peanut butter with a little bit of sugar, and would do it that way. So I hope you enjoy it. Hope we could do this again. But in all honesty, I hope I get to see you guys soon. Okay? So take it easy. And not only are the teachers awesome, but so are you guys as parents. I'll see you guys later. See you soon, guys.